And we're live. Ooh, got a thumbs up and a viewer already. Isn't that fun? Okay. We're going to do a little Mindset Mondays. I haven't figured out what time I'm going to do this at. So it's just depending on my schedule right now at the moment. But, surprise Monday, I'm going to go live at some point and give you a quick little pep talk for the week. And we'll figure out better times as things go on. Stalling a little bit, see if anyone ends up jumping on this while I'm actually live instead of watching it later. Well, we're going to talk about paradigms shifting and what people think and believe and belief systems. And we're going to tie this into relationship dynamics and intersexual dynamics here to say, okay, what does she actually think and believe? If you haven't watched it yet, I suggest you go to my Frame series where I talk about developing control and frame control in the relationship. Now, you can have frame in every situation you go into. You should at least have your own frame, meaning that you're seeing the objective world through your own subjective mindset. But that subjective mindset is what you want to actually think and believe and how you want to see the world. In other words, you're not necessarily seeing the world through somebody else's lens, but you're seeing it through your own. Now, of course, we have empathy and we want to see things from another person's perspective, and that's different. But you're choosing what value system, what beliefs, and what filters that you want to put on your subjective view. Okay, you're choosing those things. That's your frame. You're making a choice. Let's say you come across something I say, and it's a belief system that you like, and you haven't heard it before. You want to adopt that. Well, cool. Then by your own volition, your own decisions and choices, you decide to add that into your framework of how you see the world, right? And that part of that lens or view in which you view the objective world and objective reality. So that's frame, and you want to hold frame and have it in your relationships and interactions with women, whether they're casual relationships or whether they're more than that. That is where she sees the subjective world in the manner that you would like her to see it. You don't change objective reality. You're just leading her in the relationship to see things the way that you see it or the way that you want her to see it. So this can also be a thing that you do when you influence other people. When you're influencing people in a business deal, people you're doing business with, employees, subordinates, or whatever, you might want them, or you could want them to come into your frame, meaning they see things the way that you want them to see it or how you see it. Even two alpha leaders can come together from a standpoint of frame. They each have their own frame. No one's particularly going into the other person's in the same way that, let's say, a subordinate would or a less alpha person would, but maybe their frames match. Okay. So they come up with a mutually beneficial or cooperative relationship so that frameworks match. What separates many things that separates us from primates or other animals is that we could say alpha men can come together without beating the crap out of each other. You can have alpha men come together and work cooperatively towards a common goal or end or belief. That's what separates humans from the animal kingdom. Our social interaction and the way we are socially is a major component of that. It requires a higher intelligence and so forth. Whereas you don't really see, let's say, two alpha gorillas from opposing tribes working together cooperatively too often, right? I don't know if that's even a thing, to be honest. Anyway, I digress. Let's talk about paradigms, how people see the world. So I'll give you a quick little anecdote. I'll use my example of my chick and my LTR. All right. So we started seeing each other casually, and her best laid plans at the time we started seeing each other were to get in a van with some dude that she worked with at the bar. They were platonic or whatever, but get in a van and go travel out west and work the bar scene and be single and be a party girl and go travel around and do all that stuff. Okay. And that'd be a cool experience or whatever. That was her idea. That was her best laid plans. She was sick of the dudes and the dude selection and her dating life and things of that nature in the location that she was in. And she was tired of a lot of different BS, tired of her job, tired of a lot of things. And so her best laid plans were to escape that situation. That's neither here nor there, right? I get into it with her in a casual thing. And what happens? The plan of wanting to get in a van and travel and escape changed into where we're at now, which is us being together in a location. And she's not going to be getting in a van ever with that guy that she was going to get in a van with. And my point is plans change, paradigms change. Her whole view and outlook on the world now is different than it was prior to our relationship. Now, this is all by her choice, of course, but those choices were influenced by the frame that I'm creating. She's coming into my frame. She's seeing the world through the same lens that I'm seeing it as. And she's happy with that, agreeing with that, not just agreeing with it, but happy with this new paradigm that we have. And I would consider traveling out west myself, because that sounds like a cool thing. Instead, we're probably going to travel to South America, but there's different places we'll travel, different things we'll do, and we'll do them together. And she's doing it in an entirely different framework. So what's my point? My point is that people change their paradigm and they change their minds. They change their plans. They change their ideas of the world. And they change that due to influences and new ideas that are around them. And so you need to understand, as a person who is either an alpha male or alpha person or striving to be this alpha male in your social circles in your life, that you have influence over what other people think, believe, and the decisions that they make. It's still their choices. It's still what they want to do, right? But you have that influence. So let's apply this to the dating market. Look, women don't know shit. Okay. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Now, to be fair, most guys don't know what the hell they're doing either. We're just trying to come up with the best laid plans that we can think of that allow us to get what we want in life and not be alone doing it. That's what most people are doing. Women in particular, they're trying to figure out the best laid idea that they can sort of execute or whatever paradigm so that they can get what they want out of life. And they've tried a bunch of ideas already, depending on what their age is. I mean, assuming that they're, let's say in their mid 20s or late 20s or mid 30s, or they've experienced life. They're not 15, 16 years old. Okay. Assuming they've experienced life, they've had disappointments. They've seen disappointments. They've been around bad consequences. They've experienced bad consequences based both on their own choices and bad decisions, as well as maybe things that had just happened to them. Right. And so with all that, that's clouding or that is influencing their best laid plans for happiness out in the future. Now, not to mention, we have a blue pill paradigm and world that's out there, as well as a feminist driven gynocentric world that is being presented out there. Both views and both ideas are recipes for disaster when it comes to relationships and happiness in any of these best laid plans. And those are the things that are influencing these women that you're looking to date. So when you sit down with them and they present to you a paradigm of what they want to do for their own happiness, maybe don't laugh at them in a condescending way, but you really can just laugh on the inside because it's all bullshit. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're talking about. Whether it's go live in a van down by the river, okay, or go meet some guy off of some magical situation that they think that they'll be in, or go pursue this thing or that thing, or go work this job, or move to this new place. They don't know. They don't know anything. They're not happy. They're alone, or they wouldn't be on this date with you, or they wouldn't be letting you talk to them, or they wouldn't be hooking up with you, or whatever it is. And they're, you know, I'm not saying they're not happy, like completely not happy, like their whole lives, but they're not in the place they want to be, and they want to get to someplace different. And so now they're talking to you. You as alpha leader, you figure out the plan. You get on your own mental point of origin. If she likes you enough, she falls into your frame. All of those ideas that she has for the life that she wants will start to transform to match complementing your life. She could have this idea of going to Cambodia, living in a commune, and I don't know, fighting some guerrilla force somewhere with her bare hands. Who knows, right? I don't know. Maybe she's going to go to the convent, right, somewhere. Or maybe she's going to go be a hooker out in Amsterdam, and that's her best laid plans. Who knows what her plans are, right? Whatever they are, they're probably, you know, they're probably not, a lot of them are going to be kind of stupid because she hasn't met you yet. If you're an apex alpha and you're her apex alpha, all of those plans and ideas will change. Period. End of story. That's just what happens. They will. She wants to go be a hooker in Amsterdam. She meets you, apex alpha. You're hitting it off. She starts trying to win over your commitment. She starts getting more of your time and energy because she's a good compliment to your life and worth it. I mean, assuming that maybe she wasn't a hooker prior to meeting you. Maybe those best laid plans of going to move off and be into the commune or the convent or the go live in the whorehouse or whatever. Maybe those plans are going to change, and chances are they probably are going to change. Let's say she doesn't want kids and you want kids. Well, guess what? She finds you to be her apex alpha. She wants to be with you. All of a sudden, babies sound like a pretty interesting idea. Maybe she wants kids and you don't want kids. Well, maybe that paradigm then changes, right? She needs to crawl over broken glass and under barbed wire in order to get to you. That's what ends up happening. When she has a genuine burning desire for you, her paradigm will shift. Her paradigm will change. When she's in your frame, her paradigm changes and shifts. And that's the point. Now, you want to vet girls out. You want to be, as we say, spinning plates or having casual relationships. You don't give your commitment away. You don't bring in a girl who wants kids and then says, okay, I guess I don't really want kids, but she doesn't actually mean it because she's not in your frame. She just thinks that she's going to convince you later once you said I do or whatever thing is going to happen, right? Once you've tied your resources together and gotten into some sort of commitment, now she thinks she's going to change you. You don't want that long-term situation. So you need to vet out for that, right? You don't want a situation where she's going to resent you later because she wants the thing and now you say no, and then she decides to be with you and now you won't change your mind. And so now she resents it. So these are things that you, of course, vet for. This happens with abundance, dating multiple women, and picking the best option or choice for you. Okay. But some of you guys don't know how to vet women. You sit down with a woman, it's an interview. You probably ask her things about her sexual past, which you shouldn't do in a first date, especially. Okay. You probably sit there and try to go through a checklist of things and go yay or nay based on that. You're not doing it well enough. You have to look at what's behind the checklist. You have to look at the motivation. You have to look at what her frame of mind was when she made decisions. And what's her frame of mind right now? You have to look at her value system. You have to look at her sub-communication. You have to look at her attraction and arousal towards you. This takes social calibration. You guys who don't have any social awareness whatsoever think that you're going to bring a checklist to the table and vet a girl out properly. Ain't going to happen. Okay. So this is where you need to get very curious, take your time, take it easy, keep it casual, and learn about these women based on your interaction with them, not on a checklist necessarily. Checklist items are okay to go by or to have or to notice, but that's just not your only tool, is the point. But part of this checklist thing, though, to bring it back, is a lot of guys will go, what are your plans? And then her plans might be, well, I'm going to go live in a van down by the river. Okay. Well, my chick told me she was going to go live in a van down by the river. I didn't go, well, I better stop seeing her because she's not in my frame. Like, no, that's cool. Well, good for you. If that's what happens, that's your dream. You go pursue your dreams. And then we bang it out. Right. That's what happens. We have a great time and then I drop her off. Okay. As we have a series of great times together and as things grow more in that interaction, in that relationship, living in a van down by the river with some guy you bartend with, that's not necessarily looking like her best option anymore. You get what I'm saying? They will fall in your frame. They will fall in your paradigm. You meet up with somebody that you're interested in doing business with or whatever, and they give you sort of a lay of plans. Well, that's cool. But if they start seeing things differently, falling into your frame and what you would want to do and develop, maybe they start combining your ideas with their own, and what they have ends up changing. That's what influence is. So continue to execute your influence on others in a positive way. Continue to allow others to influence you in a positive way, but X out or vet out those that are influencing you in a negative way and push, of course, those things out. Be outcome independent. And main thing is, especially when you're dating, don't worry about the bullshit she says. Watch what she does and give it some time. People's paradigms change. Okay. People's ideas change. They haven't met you yet. She hasn't had that apex alpha yet, which is, if you're listening and doing the things they tell you, that's you. Okay. So be you, be an apex alpha, and sit back, watch, observe, enjoy, have amazing experiences, then drop her ass off. If she likes you and she wants to be a part of your life and she's falling for you and she sees you as that guy, she will start to change some of those plans of hers that don't match yours in such a manner where now all of a sudden maybe they start to match. And that's it. And that's what you're actually looking for. You're not looking for the items on a checklist. You're looking for frame. You're looking for an ability to pair bond. You're looking for a good connection and somebody you enjoy spending time with, both in and out of the bedroom. But you're also looking for her to gravitate towards you. And if she has ideas, plans, values that are different, that don't complement yours, you're looking for those changes. Those changes will tell you that maybe she's a good option for something more than just casual. But in any sense, never forget when you go into a situation that people's paradigms change, and they can change based on your influence. So don't take it too hard when people think or believe things that are different or maybe conflicting with what you have. Just influence them and sit back and see what happens. All right. Thanks, guys, for all you guys that jumped in and said comments and did things and all that. You guys are the shit. I appreciate you guys. Yes, this is very stealthy. I'm just jumping on, talking, and jumping off. Got to catch me when you can catch me. Eventually, I'll get a time, maybe next week or the following. I'll actually have a real time I can put out that I can schedule in here that makes sense for everybody to try to catch me live, and we can do these little live Mindset Monday things. Eventually I'll get my stuff monetized. I'll actually do it. I promise, maybe one day. The reason why doing the monetization is cool is because then I can allow you guys to do things like super chats and whatnot. That way your comments won't just get mixed in with all the other comments. I can actually, see who's saying what, and then I can sort of, address questions. Maybe we can do Q&As. Maybe I can answer some problems or little quick question things for you guys that you guys need to get, addressed. So we got things going on in the future. Stay tuned. Courses, community, a book I'm editing. I appreciate the support, though. Keep supporting the content, the videos. I'm pretty much shadow banned, so I know I say all these terrible things. So my shadow banning might mean that you might have to share it to support me. I would appreciate sharing the content and obviously being a subscriber and all that. All right, I'm out, guys. Thanks again for jumping on. Peace.